Love's Tricks, Act 2. Scene 1. A room in Rufaldo's house. Enter Babalcus. Babalcus, if I were a woman, now could I fall in love with myself. Everybody tells me I am the properest gentleman in the town, and I put it up, for the truth is, I dare not give anyone the lie. A pox of fighting, I can look as big as another, but shall I be such an ass to venture myself with beasts? For they say your swords most commonly are foxes, and have notable metal in them. Let me see, I am now at Rufaldo's, my father-in-law that must be. Here he is. Enter Rufaldo, youthfully apparelled. Master Rufaldo, if you had been my own father, as you are but like to be my father-in-law, I should have proved myself a fool. By this hand I should not have known you. Why, how brisk and neat and youthful he is. Rufaldo. I'm something altered, I confess, since I saw you. Babalcus. By this flesh that shines, a man would not take you to be above 5 or 6 and 30 at most. How came this? Rufaldo. Just as Gasparo told me. 'Tis apparent. Nay, nay, son, forbear to be inquisitive. I confess I am abated of my age, the power of love, and so forth. But I see your fire of love is not out too. Babalcus. No, mine was but raked up in the embers. Rufaldo. Why this love does make us all ingenious too. Come, sit down. Places a cushion under him. Saving your tale, sir, a cushion, we may discourse with the more ease. Babalcus. Pray, how is my sweetheart, Mistress Hilaria? Rufaldo. She is very well. Ha, son, I am in love too, son, I call you. I hope you will get my daughter's goodwill, but you'll find her peevish. Babalcus. No matter, sir, for that I would not have her easily. I would sweat for her. I warrant I'll make her love me. Look, you can read, gives Babalcus a paper. I made a ditty to end my mistress, and my musician that I keep in my house to teach my daughter has set it to a very good air, he tells me. Shall hear and judge of it. I hear him tuning his instrument. Musician sings within. God of war, to keep it yield. He is master of the field. He with arrow hits the heart. Thou with lance the worser part. Cupid greater is than Jove, since he wounded was with love. Nay, in power by much odds he excels the other gods. Love transformed Jove to a swan, made Ulysses a madman, but Rufaldo it does make young for his Selena's sake. Rufaldo. How do you relish it, huh? Babalcus. In troth, the ditty is as pretty an air as ever I saw. 'Tis divided into 3 regions, too. I warrant you can make ballads easily. Rufaldo. Oh, fie, they are barbarous and ignoble. That's beggarly, Babalcus. But for all that, I have read good stuff sometimes, especially in your fighting ballads, when cannons are roaring and bullets are flying. Rufaldo. Fie, whipping post, tinkerly stuff. How do you like the air? Babalcus. As sweet an air as a man would wish to live in, but 'tis somewhat backward. Rufaldo sings. Oh, music, the life of the soul. Babalcus. I should have learned music once too, but my master had so many crusades. I should ne'er away with it. But where's your daughter, sir? There is no music without her. She is the best instrument to play upon. Rufaldo. And you shall have her between your legs presently. Babalcus. I had his life betwixt her for all that. Rufaldo. Hilaria, where is this girl? I'll fetch her to you and leave her with you, for I have love of my own, to whom I mean in person to present this ditty. I'll fetch her. Exit. Babalcus. I do not see what fault she can find with me, and if I had some good word to come over her, but I must help it out, if need be, with swearing. But here she is. Re-enter Rufaldo with Hilaria, Antonio following at a distance. Rufaldo. Still Antonio with you. You are a foolish girl. Do I take care to provide a husband for you, and will you cast away yourself upon a prodigal? But I would not discontent his sister, whom I hope to make my wife. I would forbid him my house, therefore be wise. Take heed of him. He's giddy-headed and loose-bodied. The bee may buzz, but he will leave a sting. Plant your love there. Pointing to Babalcus. Upon my blessing he hath many lordships. Hilaria, pray heaven he have good manners. Rufaldo. I have set open the gate of opportunity. Cupid speed us both. Exit. Babalcus. Let me alone to enter, my man. Now the point is open. Sees Antonio. Say, there's a man in her table is more than I looked for. Foot. He kisses her. I'll call Rafaldo back. Goes to the side of the stage. He's out of sight. It were but a cowardly trick for me to run away, and the bee may buzz now the sting of conscience eat up his gut, fry his wheat, and leave him at his death not able to weigh down a pound of candle. But Balkis he talks of sweat, I do melt already aside. Hilaria, look, do you see that man of clothes pointing to him, Balkis? Upon my father's blessing, he must be my husband. What will you do, Antonia? Fight with him, his clothes are too big for him. I'll beat him till he swell to them. Hilaria, no, you love me. Do not strike him. But Balkis says, I will set a good face. Whatsoever come. Hilaria, how does my love come? Kiss her. Why, so this comes of valor. We fall to, and he falls off. He's some coward, I hope. And how does Hilaria? 'Tis an age since I saw thee. What spring is that? Hilaria, one that desires to be of your acquaintance, sir. But Balk is my acquaintance. Who is he? None but knights. Knights fellows are of my acquaintance. I scorn gentlemen. Hilaria, but for my sake, pray be acquainted with him. But Balkis, thou shalt do much with me, sir. I am content for her sake, whom I love, to be acquainted with you. Will borrow any money, for so do all that begin their acquaintance with me. 'Tis the fashion. He's a coward, is he not? Selina here offers Antonio money. Nay, and you scorn my money, I scorn your acquaintance. Hilaria, pray for my sake. But Balkis, why, he will borrow money of me. I had never such a trick put upon me, since I knew what acquaintance was. I am sure there have been 40 acquainted with me since I came to town, and not one had so little breeding to let me ask them the question. Could no sooner shake one hand, but the other was in my pocket. And maybe 'tis his modesty, sir. This is my love, Valeria, and if you will not borrow money of me by this hand, there lies my sword. Throws down his sword. He is a coward, sighed Hilaria. Hilaria, it appears. But Balkis, Hilaria is my mistress. If any man dare to be so venturous as to blast her reputation with a foul breath, he shall breathe his last. Hilaria, 'tis very sure, shall not be immortal. But Balkis, or if you shall offer in my presence to defile her lip, to touch her hand, or kiss but the nether part of her vesture, you had better kiss her in another place. Nay, but do not blow on her. Raises his voice. Hilaria, you forget yourself. This is my friend. But Balkis, or wink at her, or speak to her, or make signs, or think on her to my face. Better keep your thoughts to yourself. Now to conclude, if you be agreed, my name is Balkis, and you lie. Tonio, and you lie there on the ground, throws him down. Why should I not knock his brains out with his own hilts, or stake him to the ground like a man that had hanged himself? Sarah clothes, rat of no less fiction, monster, golden calf. Oh, I could kick thee till thou hast no more brains than thy cousin Woodcock. I will not dishonor myself to kill thee. Half a dozen kicks will be as good as a correction. Out, you monkey, kicks him. But Balkis rises. Oh, that I could run thee thorough body and soul. I will challenge thee a pox on your toes. I would have the paring of your nails, were you done so long for this, Antonio. Hence, but Balkis, who looked for you? When will you be here again? Look for a challenge. The time may come when I will beat thee. Exit. Tony, has thy father left a multitude of men to make choice of this piece of folly to be thy husband? The blindness of a covetous, wretched father, that is led only by the ears and in love with sounds. Nature had done well to have thrust him into the world without an eye. That is like a mole is so affected to be, sir. But there means to dig for paradise to become malaria. Fathers their children and themselves abuse that wealth. A husband for their daughter choose. Exit. Scene 2. A room in Cornelio's house. Enter Cornelio, Rafaldo, and Selina. Cornelio, do not think, Rafaldo, pardon me, you could have so prevailed. But if she planned her affection on you, I'll not be backward to call you son. Selina, he does appear with all the charms of love upon his eye, and not rough drawn, but polished. He assumes a power above all resistance. Cornelia, an old man's darling, is a petty queen above all her desires. Rafaldo, nay, she want nothing my wealth can purchase. Oh, my sweet Selina. Cornelia, Rafaldo, with your patience I would have a word or two in private. You need not prejudicate me. Rafaldo, with all my heart, walks aside. Cornelio, Selina, thou knowest I am thy father. Selina, my duty, sir, shall speak it. Cornelio, and you know whom you have rejected. Selina, young and Fortunio. Cornelio, and you know man he is with whom you mean to tie that knot. Nothing but death is able to undo it. Selina, Rafalo, stern old man. Cornelia, oh, Selina, Felice, thy poor sister thou callest, a sad remembrance, but heaven, alas, knows only where she is. Selina, sir, I have often heard you talk of her, but never knew that sister well. Cornelia, thou, thy uncle's tenderness was kept always in the country, not till her loss. And with me, her fate taught me to give the liberty to thee. Her I restrained, poor wench in love with Gasparo, till betwixt obedience to a father and the love to him, she left us both father and friend. Now, to avoid the like affliction, I vow thy freedom, and thou seest I do not counter thy affection with the bonds a father might enforce upon his child. Selina, I humbly thank you, sir. Cornelia, but yet, Selina, take heed, be not too rash. I have observed you want common judgment. Oh, do not precipitate thyself into a sorrow shall waste thee with repentance. Let me tell you, it's a method in your passions young, to keep it in obedience. You love Rafalda. Art thou not young? How we the rose agree with a dead hyacinth, or the honey woodbine circling a withered briar can apply. Can you submit your body to bed with ice and snow, your blood to mingle? Would you be deaf with coughing? Teach your eye how to be rheumatic? Breathes he not out his body in diseases, and like dust falling all into pieces, as if nature would make him in his own grave? I say too much. But what are all the riches of the world to an oppressed mind, which then must be fed with despair of change? Or will his gold buy off the imprisonment? Nay, will it not compose the chains that bind you to endure it? Well, I've said enough. Keep still your freedom, and lose it where you will. You shall not blame me for your fate, nor grieve me with your shame. Selina, dear father, lo, as earth I tender you the duty of a daughter. I have heard you, not with a careless ear, that liberty you have bestowed on me, for which I owe all that I am, doth make me confident you will not be offended if I tell you my love is virtuous, where otherwise I should elect as you premonish youth and prodigal blood. And father, I think here to myself your daughter, nor am I without good precedent to how many fine young noble ladies in this very tale have matched with reverend age, and live as they were born from nature's purity, free from stain of sensual imputation, by their loves deriving heavenly honors to themselves. But of merit of equality, Rafaldo comes forward. Cornelia, no more. Heaven's blessing and my light on thee. Thou shalt have Rafaldo. Selina, I would not leave Rafaldo for a world of rash, untempered youth. Believe it, sir. Cornelia, Rafaldo heard you that. She says she would not leave you for a world of other men. Rafaldo, nor I for 1,000 worlds forsake my love. Conceal with a kiss another. Cornelia, as close as cockles. Rafaldo, oh, that we were married. 'Tis death to stay the ceremonies. Would we were abe together. Cornelia, 'twere time, I see, we were at conference to confirm all things for the marriage. You being agreed, I think we shall not differ in other circumstance, and 'twere sin to let keep your joys asunder by delay. Please you will have some treaties. Follow most willingly, oh my bird, my chick, my dove, my America, my new-found world. I shall shortly run back into 1 and 20 again. Exeunt Cornelio and Rafaldo. Selina, with what agility he moves himself, as he were made of air. Let weakness tax our inequality. I have a mind can easily condemn what the world's malice of its own first guiltless can throw upon our loves. It shall be enough for me thus to convince the world of so much baseness, lodged in luxurious thoughts by my chaste life. Rafaldo, thou art mine all time. Methinks is slow till we be actually possessed of mutual enjoying. Stay, who's this? Enter Jenkin and his page, Jokerello, the Welshman that delivers his affection at second hand to me. Jenkin, look you, pages, where our sweethearts and pygmies be? It could her tell what to say to her now. No, her heart very well, but pogs upon her cannot rule her knowledge, speak rhetorics and oratories and fine words. Her look, you know, better to fight and cut doublets with her Welsh glaives. Mark you, Jokerello. Sir, will you lose this opportunity? You'll curse yourself in Welsh 2 or 3 days together for Jenkins, gentlewoman. If her not her name was Jenkin, born in Welsh, come of the pig houses and British bloods, was have great hills and mountains, rule their own. When it was get him again, Anyway, her cousins and our country man was never conquered, but always had the victories bravely. Her arms and escutcheons to know that say you was given her crush great deal of monsters and dragons, kill 'em with their hooks very valiantly as any gentleman in the whole world. Pray you now, was please you place her affections and good wills upon her in ways that make money. Mark you till plainly, Jenkin was loved her very honestly, else pox upon her, and her will fight in her cause and quarrels, long as you have any blood in her bellies and backs too. Mark you, Selina. Sir, I am bound to you for the affection you cast on me. 'Tis far above my merit. Jenkins' merits, say you? Ah, demerits are all banished, our countries and nations, you know that. Pray you, was her love, Jenkins? Selina, love you, sir. No, not how to be so inhuman not to love you, but your parts deserve a nobler object. I am not worthy so much opinion of your love, wherein I may do your service, sir. You shall command Selina. Exit. Jenkins, shall our was make her means and satisfaction warn her, or say Jenkins was no gentleman of wealth. Say you now, pages, was her matrimonies and wedlocks very fast. Look, yeah, and when he was get her all her cousins was make joys and congratulation for her good fortunes upon her while sharps. Know you that very well, pages. Her fair shall be knighted one days and have great cumulations of earlships, honors, and dignities too. A great while ago, Jock, you rella a great castle was in the air. Jenkins, we was give all her hands in craggy tenements in Wales, await her cousin John, and live herself here upon very good fashions with her moneys and mighty riches, when her can get 'em. Enter Infortunio. Infortunio, how now, whither so fast, man? Thou mayest get to hell by night, as thou goest by an alderman's pace. Jenkins, by cat's blood, her will go to the devil. And her list, what is that to her? Fortunia, cry you mercy. Your name is Master Jenkin. Jenkin, what have her to say to Master Jenkin? Is as good name as her own. Pray you was good gentleman as herself. No, very well, say you now. Fortunio, goodbye, Sir Jenkin. Boys, does her call her boys? Hark you her. Her name is Jenkin. Her be no boys, no children. Infortunio, I will not be used so. Jenkins, how shall use worse? And her called Jenkin boys was knock as tall as man herself, and Welsh blood be up, look you. Fortunio, can she love Rufaldo? 'Tis impossible. Jenkins, Pipal Pablist is very possible. Infortunio, his body is more diseases than an hospital, and hunger-starved rascal. Jenkins, rascal, was never such names and appellations put upon her all her days, because her will make you eat up all her words and ignominies on her plagues shall make holes in your bellies. Dig on. Fortunio, a very puff, a weak animal. Jenkins, a puff and cannibals, if the devil be in your mouth, her will pick her teeth with her Welsh blade, and pay you for all your puffs. Cannibals, Warner, Infortunio, but 'tis her fault, alone, impudent woman, and may you, like Narcissus, perish by your face, the fall of others, or unpitied, of heaven and earth I lose him. I could curse you, Jenkins. You can't curse and swear to, look you now. Infortunio, pardon divinest sex passions to force my reason from me. I do submit, crave pardon, as your creature, Jenkins. Nay, her crave pardon and make submissions. Jenkins was put up all her angers and indignations very well. Exit which Chocarello. Fortunio, oh, Selina, thou art too much an adamant to draw my soul unto thee, either be softer or less attractive, but Rufaldo, 'tis depth of witchcraft. Oh, I could be mad, all patience mad. 'Tis some malice hath laid this poison on her. Enter Gorgon with a letter. Gorgon, here's Infortunio. Alas, poor gentleman, little does he think what black and white is here. A bitter handful of commendations to him. My young mistress is mad of the old coxcomb, and will marry him almost without asking. I cannot tell, but if she do not cuckold him and make him cry corns on his toes, ere he die, he has full fortune, for a wise man would be out of hope to avoid it. He spies me. Infortunio, whither running? Gorgon. Gorgon, no, out of my wits, sir. I have a letter from my young mistress, Selina. Must always have cleanly conveyance to old Rufaldo. Infortunio, let me but see the directions. To my beloved friend, Master Rufaldo, 'tis a lie. She is mistaken. It was I should owe this appellation. I will not believe the superscription. 'Tis pale face, I'll see the heart on it. Breaks open the letter. Gorgon, oh, sir, you will not throw open the sheet and discover my mistress' secrets. How he stares. Antonio reads, if you love me and wish me constant to be your friend, let our marriage day begin with the next morning. Thine, Selena. Oh, she's mad. All womankind is mad. I am mad. Whom shall I rend in pieces for my wrongs? It has with Adams filled his poisoned air. Will fall to stay. Is not she a creature rational? I know there is no spark of nature in her. All is sunk, lost forever. Stay, stay, see. Tears the letter. Gorgon. He has made a tailor's bill on it, torn in pieces. Here it be discharged. What shall I do? Infortunio, this Media's brother, torn in pieces, and this the way where she with Jason flies from Colchis. Come not near them. See, look, that's an arm rent off. Gorgon, this gathers up the pieces. Infortunio in the hand beckons us to cry out murder. Gorgon Alba, hold it by the hand. Fortunio, that's a leg of the boar. Gorgon, this, sir leg, it shall go with me then. Fortunio, there 'tis head and yellow curled locks. His eyes are full of tears. Now they do stare to see where all his other members lie. Gorgon, so I have all his quarters. I'll presently, sir, get poles from them and hang them upon the gates in their postures for you. Fortunio, but she and Jason are both shipped and Argo, it's sailing home to Greece. See how the waves do toss the vessel, and the winds conspire to dash against a rock. It rides upon a watery mountain, and is hidden clouds. It cannot stay there. Now. It tumbles 3 fathom beneath hell. Let them even go. Here comes the father of Medea, now calling in vain unto the gods, and spies his son's limbs thrown about. Instead of flowers to his daughter's nuptials, he does take them up. He knows the face. And now he tears his hair and raves and cries, Medea, poor old man, command a funeral pile for the young child, and lay the pretty limbs on it, from whose ashes shall I have another son, the shape of phoenix shall I, oh, excellent, prepare fire, all sweet wood for my sweet boy, a fire. Exit.